Aishwarya, right?
Yes, sir.
Aishwarya, just tell me something about yourself.
Sir, I am from Siuni district of Madhya Pradesh. I have done schooling from there, and after 10th class, I moved to Kota, Rajasthan for preparing IIT JEE, and then I got into IIT Kharagpur for electronics engineering. And after passing out in 2018, I have been pursuing my dream of becoming a civil servant. And my father is a resident medical officer.
Where?
Siuni, Madhya Pradesh district hospital.
You've been in Kota since, how many years you stayed there?
2 years, 11th and 12th.
11th and 12th. And you got it after 12th itself?
No, sir. I went to NIT Raipur, computer science. Then I again gave JEE and I got good rank. Then I went to Kharagpur.
So, tell me your experience of Kota in terms of culture, the learning ecosystem.
So during my time, obviously there were instances of few suicides. However, now I am hearing that there are increased instances. So for me, it was a good experience. For the first time, I got education which is so good. So that created my interest in.
So, you had relatively a positive experience in terms of learning. So, what should be done? Let's say you become an administrator in Rajasthan. And so what should be done? How do we address this challenge where maybe this extra undue pressure, or maybe that peer expectation, or maybe that you are not for that particular course or degree, but still you are pursuing that. So what remedial steps as a administrator or as a policy input you would advise?
There should be two-pronged approach, I think. First, counseling of parents also, and counseling of students also. For parents, they need to be understanding that putting pressure won't do any good but harm. So seeing that someone else kid is going to IIT, and may not, every children is not made for technical subject, they can excel in other. So pressure should not be there. And for students, counseling should be there that even if they don't crack it, this is not end of the life, and there are many opportunities. And positive culture should be there.
Apart from the cultural aspect or maybe the awareness part where you try to communicate better with maybe the stakeholders, what else can be done from an administration point of view?
The community reach program can be done at district level, and coaching administrators should also be involved.
Maybe counseling of students, psychological counsel.
If a teacher during class says these words, so there will be better chances student will, rather than some unknown person from executive. If teacher says these words, that will be more good. So they should be involved.
Also, the segregation of students in terms of the performance, where there is focus more on certain people who are doing relatively better, and the student feel neglected, that you're not part of the crowd which can make to the competition. So that segregation happens at primary level itself. So don't you think that should be questioned, or maybe we should have the education policy should be in such a way that common approach should be there?
In coaching institute also, I have seen that there is A1 batch, A2 batch, A3 batch. So those in IA batch, they got top 100 rank in JEE Advanced. So some segregation is there. However, apart from top level, the cream students who are going to a top 100, others should not be segregated. That will bring egalitarianism, and children will not feel segregated. And maybe there is a good chance that they will learn from good students if they sit beside them.
Yesterday, a disaster happened, man-made disaster at Mahakumbh event. In spite of everything in place, the preparation plan, logistics, investment, security, what do you think where it all failed, or where it did not happen as per the plan?
So administration is saying that every possible arrangement has been done. However, the sudden surge in the population, around 7-8 crore people took dip in the confluence of Ganga and Yamuna. So maybe the sudden surge in the visitors, that may have been a reason, I think.
Now, in Delhi, there is high decibel election that is going on, right? And in this high decibel election, there is a freebie culture. What is your opinion on that?
Sir, freebies, uh, economically they are not good because ultimately public is going to burn the burden. And
socially it is good.
For some section is good. There should be a middle path, like freebie should not be for everyone. Even if you are giving for women or middle class, the most vulnerable section, a limited group, that should only get, so that in that way they are also benefited in voting pattern also.
How would we identify the people who are vulnerable? The segregation part will happen how?
Socioeconomic caste census can be there and other government data can be used. In that way, the majority of the population will not be swayed by freebies. So election will be on crucial issues like Delhi air pollution issues, other issues.
There is a renewed debate since almost a decade of the care economy. Do you think that this culture where benefit program, women empowerment program, income transfer programs has been there in Maharashtra, then it went to Jharkhand, then similar demands are being made in Delhi, in Punjab also similar promise was made. So do you think that is such kind of maybe programs are beneficial or should they be promoted?
Definitely, the care economy should be monetized because the women, their burden is disproportionately high, especially in patriarchal society of India, where women do elderly care, child care, cooking. These are all not included either in GDP nor they are monetized. Also, if we see in healthcare, primary healthcare nurses like Ashas, ANMs, they are only women. So monetization should be good for not only women but economy also. Their participation will increase.
But if you go in terms of impact of the fiscal health of the state, can you tell me the states which are suffering fiscally right now?
Exactly, I am not aware. However, maybe Andhra Pradesh sir is there, and Bihar. And other top performers are Gujarat and Maharashtra. However, lower West Bengal is also there in lower. Sir, I am not aware. Punjab is in low.
So, as per the various committee reports, what should be the debt to GDP ratio, permissible debt to GDP ratio, or maybe the estimated?
Sir, I am not exactly aware. That percentage I am not able to recall.
And what is the current debt to GDP ratio in the country?
Not aware, sir.
It is around 80%.
Yes, sir.
And as per the encasing committee, it should be 60%, right? 40% for the union government and 20% for the state government. State like Punjab have a debt to GDP ratio of 45% right now. Yes, state GSDP. You chose sociology as an optional. Any reason? You come from electrical and engineering. It is electrical and electronics, right?
Sir, actually, my graduation is only in electronics. Electrical is a very minor part. IIT Kharagpur has separate electrical engineering department. So I am from electronic. So taking electrical won't be make sense for me. So other than that, I also have interest in social issues. Deeply rooted issues are there. So I took sociology.
Recently, a Supreme Court passed a judgment where a child born out of adultery will have this, outside the marriage, of course, will have the same legal recognition as a normal child. So, first question would be that, what is your opinion? Do you agree with the Supreme Court judgment? Second is that, how society, the moral and social implication of such event will happen or will hamper the society, the social fabric?
Sir, I concur with Supreme Court's view that the rights of the child should also be maintained, and it is not his fault that he is born to such parents. He or she. So, sir, I think it is a good step.
What is your opinion on the live-in marriages where UCC has been implemented in Uttarakhand? So, in the live-in marriages, the registration of live-in marriages, what is your opinion on that? Because that will further make them more vulnerable. Already there is a social, outcastism in terms of the people who don't follow the norms.
Sir, the program is good after 2022 Aftab case, where in live-in relationship, a woman was murdered and he was kept. Okay. So Sir, seeing that how brutality and sometimes out of anger, violence against women happen in living, so that step is good. That part is curtailed and gender equality and women security will be enhanced. However, the recently I have heard that there is a uh, notion that for being in relationship in Uttarakhand, you have to get the religious sanctions from a religious. I think that
But
for a secular
is
law.
is this legally? I mean, this what you're mentioning is it? It's not legal, right?
Sir, I have read in newspaper that they are implementing it. To be in a relationship, yesterday's newspaper only have it. So, to be in a live in relationship, you have to also register and get a permission from religious head. So, for a secular law, getting religious sanction, that will be, I think, challenged in court.
Tell me two positives of this and two negatives of this.
Sir, whole UCC or live in.
The live-in terms of use, the live-in in terms of under the ambit of new UCC law.
So, first is gender, women security, and sir, other is second one, sir. I'm not able to, sir. Negatives are that, sir, right to privacy will under Article 20 that will be violated, and the personal sphere. Government is going into personal sphere of people.
Privacy is being violated.
Another, sir, that the registration part, the families will also be involved and they will get to know.
That is negative.
Yes, sir. And getting, sir, religious sanctions. That there is a part that religion sanctions.
But that is good, right? Family giving sanction to a relationship, people
Family
having.
part may be good, but religious sanction because there is a clause that permissibility of the marriage should be evaluated. So intercaste marriage, interfaith, live-in relationship, they will be rejected on the first step itself.
So recently there was a news of high number of farmer suicides in the region of Marathwada. And as a student of sociology,
Yes, sir.
can you explain this social behavior?
Sir, this is the emulation of the success of green revolution areas, Punjab, Haryana. They have water and they have high yield varieties. Irrigation facilities are also. If you are implementing and replicating in a region which is a water scarce, that will bound to fail.
So the question comes that how do we explain this and what should be the way forward?
So crop diversification, government is also suggesting that crop diversification is need of the time. Rice wheat system is decades old and it does not serve the purpose.
Crop diversification can be, and what else?
So awareness program can be done to farmers that these soils and these regions are not.
So let's say you get posted in Maharashtra and Beed district,
Yes.
and you come across a situation where the number of farmer suicides have been increasing, and input comes from the chief minister that see you have to address this concern, use whatever legal moral power you have, and make sure that these instances are curbed. So as a person of authority and as a person of in the leadership role, what measures you will take to address the situation?
So first of all, I will engage with the farmer leaders. Like there are many farmer pressure groups, Samyukt Kisan Morcha and others. So that I will convey my message that farmers should be told that they should change their crop practices. Other is that I will use the government scheme.
Long-term solution. Tell me immediate. Let's say you are in a collectorate office. You come to your morning office and suddenly you saw that 10-20 farmers are waiting to meet you. And moment you meet them, they say that, sir, we are in heavy in debt. We are emotionally and psychologically drained. The only thing that comes to our mind is that we want to take our lives. And please help us. So what would be the immediate solution that you will go?
I will try that for whoever they are indebted. I will talk to them. I will talk to them that there should be some relief. Some months should be given to repay the debt. Second is I will use government scheme like PM Kisan, 6,000 and other schemes where some money.
Try to understand. This is a farmer who does not have money. He has a debt burden. You're talking about a PM Kisan in the next crop cycle. He does not have money even for the basic livelihood concern?
Sir, I will try to give the funds from other schemes. There are always some funds available to the DM and SGM, so that can be given for immediate.
So let's say you give funds to 5-10 people there, and next day when you come to the office, there are 500 people waiting for you. Then what you'll do?
So alternative employment should be given. If not farming, there should be other things, MG Narega and other jobs, so that they will get some monthly income.
But immediate problem is not resolved, right?
The problems like this need some time, and if it will be solved immediately, that would have already been solved.
It's a structural problem, right?
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. You follow the football competition, the European Football League, right? How European Football League is different from the football league that is conducted in Latin American countries?
Well, Latin American countries don't have big stars. Europe have all the big stars of France, Germany.
But Latin American countries have, countries like Brazil, Argentina, they have big stars, internationally renowned.
Sir, even stars of Brazil like Rodrigo, Vinicius Junior, Argentina. So they are all playing in La Liga or English Premier League only. So they are not even playing in their own leagues.
But do they have a league, proper league there or not? Okay, so only the scale is different. This is bigger. That is what you're mentioning.
And popularity is also.
Commercialization of sports had to this extent, where big businessmen are owning the maybe the football clubs. Do you think it is okay for society?
So football is a sport which is not controlled by any government. It is privately held, and the leagues are also privately held. Even in India, Abhishek Bachchan have stakes in FC Goa or Mumbai. Exactly, I am not aware. So, sir, for investment is needed because it is a costly sport. So that is a good thing.
Okay. So do you think that we should have a similarly as we have the Premier League for cricket, we should have Premier League for football and other sports
We
also?
already have Indian Super League, and we for Kabaddi we have Pro Kabaddi League. So leagues are there. However, we are still catching up. There are not.
Okay. Now, there always been a comparison between Indian footballers and the footballers in the European nations, or for that matter, other countries. Why India has not been able to match 1.4 billion people, and we don't have, maybe in the top 100 also, we don't have one single football player. As a follower, a keen follower of sports, of football, what is your observation?
So at grassroots level, like in cricket, we have Ranji Trophy. We have various levels. State cricket teams are there. Regional competition are there. Then you will move up to first district, then regional, then you will go to state level Ranji, then Indian cricket team. So in football, I don't think that proper organizational level is there.
Can we say that there is also a factor of genes, genetic, mental and physical strength which Indians don't have?
No, sir, I don't believe that. Even in India, we have 6 feet tall people and with good physique, which is agility, which is required for football. However, talent search should be there and nurturing should be there, which is absent.
Aishwarya, was there any telecom related subject in your graduation? Or it was pure electrical and electronics engineering?
Telecommunication was not much there.
You haven't read telecommunication at all?
Yes.
First of all, I would like to ask you what is your actual aspiration, as you have stayed in Kota for getting a good college. You got a good college, NIT Durgapur, I think.
So first NIT Raipur, then IIT Kharagpur.
NIT Raipur. Still, you were not satisfied. Then you have worked hard and opted for IIT Kharagpur. So it was a kind of dream that you have worked for 3 years. Then when it came about UPSC in your mind?
So in 2009, my uncle cracked UPSC. He is currently IPS officer in Delhi itself. So he was the first person in our family, and even in my district, the close district Balaghat, Chindwara, Jabalpur, they regularly see people clearing civil services. However, in my district, even before my uncle and after that, no one really got into the. So I wanted to do something which so that my district student will get inspired from me, and they will move over from MPPSC and also try for UPSC.
As per your answer, I can see that cracking UPSC is your dream, not the job.
So that is one of the thing. For cracking any exam, you have to have a perseverance, and I am preparing for UPSC since 6 years. So I can say that I have perseverance and positive attitude. So after going into service, I will also do good work. And
So, in engineering, the subjects you have learned, you were active in speeches and essay competitions as well. What qualities do you think you will be able to use in as a civil servant? If I ask specifically 3 qualities that you have learned during your graduation level, what would be there? Whatever you have learned in your graduation, participating in events, college degree and studies, academics and all.
first is organizing my thoughts properly and conveying them in a good order. Second is speaking skills I have got from there. And third was simplifying the complex problems.
As I can see, you are a sociology student. In sociology, who are your favorite thinkers in overall syllabus, if I want to ask?
In outside India, Durkheim is one of my favorite. In India, M.N. Srinivas and G.S. Ghurye.
The work of Emile Durkheim is on, actually he have worked on suicides as well, I think. It is a social decision, not an individual. So recently seeing that sir have also asked in quota, incidents of suicides are increasing. Recently a NEET topper suicided. He was pursuing his PG. And even we see officers are suiciding. So how you see society is responsible for it, or what phenomena in society are churning that's making people suicide, taking that extreme step?
If according to Durkheim's notion, suicide is not an individual phenomena which psychologists believe. It is controlled by forces of the society like integration and regulation. So if I put this to quota students, it is a fatalistic suicide because they are under highly regulated environment. So high regulation forces are forcing them. Also farmer suicide, they are also highly regulated by banks for repay of debts. Other individuals, some feel low, like elderly societies, they feel lowly integrated to society. They think that we are no longer required and nobody cares about us. So sir, it is egoistic suicide. So
Seeing that Emile Durkheim's theory in women context, as per the data, the suicide rate of male is more than women. But in patriarchal society, women are more regulated. How it is happening?
there may be multiple factors. Integration, regulation are two parts. So maybe the high expectation from men for providing for women, and we are seeing that alimony and other dowry harassment cases, they are ultimately regulating the women and society is pressuring them. So that may be a reason.
Talking about women, why there is no feminist movement in free India, while it was there during independence period?
Sir, we can't say that there was no movement. There was first and second wave of feminism. Ecofeminism was there, and other types also. I am not able to recall. So currently, in India, we don't have any movement, but we are influenced by outside movement like #MeToo movement and the. So in somewhat way, the needs of women are being addressed by one way or another.
If I ask you one question, have you heard about satellite internet? What is it?
Currently, there was a proposal that internet should be Wi-Fi should be provided in planes also, and there was a loan program of Elon Musk companies. So internet will be provided by direct satellite. Currently 90%, 95% of internet comes from cables under the sea.
And relevance of BSNL specifically in social context.
BSNL is a government-owned company, and it provides jobs to various sections. Reservation will also be applied, and it caters the hinterland of our country. However, after coming of private players, the relevance of BSNL has decreased. However, for security purpose, military purpose, and other national security, it still have relevance.
You're talking about reservation. So it's been 75 years since independence. How do you observe it? Is it success?
Definitely, for it is a success somewhat, because the new generations, they are comparatively better from the previous generations, because they get good opportunity of educational learning. However, there is a gap in institution like IIT AIMS. It is said that only 5% are from vulnerable communities, most are upper caste. So in that part, I think reservation has not been completely effective.
So if I ask you to reform reservation policy in India, what major steps would you like to take?
Subcategorization of SCs also, as done for OBC under Justice G. Rohini Committee. So as for SCs also it is required, because it is seen that only some part of SCs, they are getting the major chunk. And I concur with ex-Chief Justice Chantu Ji's view that every community in SC don't feel same discrimination. So there should not be economic criteria, however, the social criteria, because some are really facing discrimination at a large extent. So that should be the criteria.
Don't you see reservation have become more of political gamble during elections, like Jat reservations in Maharashtra, some communities in Telangana?
It can be said that, because the Marathas, Jats, they are asking for reservation. However, even economically or socially, they are not that backward. So it is, I think, they are politically influenced.
For vulnerable sections during our freedom struggle, many different views were pronounced. One of them was Dr. Ambedkar's view, which became finally written in our constitution. Other views, any?
So Gandhiji's views was there, Sarvodaya, treating everyone equally, and he wanted change of heart rather than Ambedkar's view of changing abolishing caste itself. He took a reformative view that change of heart through providing menial services by upper caste, and intercaste marriages was also popularized by him. And
In your eyes, which view is better, Dr. Ambedkar or Mahatma Gandhi?
so there should be a balanced approach. Both approaches have their both pros and cons. However, completely abolishing caste system, I don't think it is possible in current scenario. No one will leave that their caste suddenly. So reformative approach is good.
And what was the difference between Ambedkar and Periyar's approach?
Sir, I have heard about E.V. Ramasamy Periyar. He conducted temple entry movement in South India. However, his approach I am not exactly aware.
So chip manufacturing or chip fabrication, we are starting some labs. You must have heard about them. Why so late?
Yes, sir. It took India to realize that ultimately chips are going to rule the world. Even refrigerators, any electronic device, its brain is chips only. And we have not focused much on the manufacturing part. We were happy to import it from China and other countries, Taiwan. However, right now government push through National Semiconductor Mission and others.
India realized it a decade ago, but there were some challenges. Why it became so late to start it? What were those challenges? Or if you can explain what is the exact process of chip manufacturing?
Silicon has to be extracted from the sand, and sir, it has to be converted into silicon oxide, and some impurities like doping should be done, and circular silicon wafer should be made, and then using photoelectric machines, the millions of transistors are made on that. So sir, that technology is very sophisticated. So we didn't have
Very sophisticated and very complex. So there were some challenges. If you can exactly point out. And the next question is, what is the global supply chain of chip manufacturing country-wise ki for that segment, this countries?
the designing part is majorly done by Intel, Nvidia in United States. Qualcomm, Texas Instruments are there. Some manufacturing part, major hub is Taiwan. Taiwan Semiconductor company is there. And there is one company in Netherlands also, I am not able to recall the name.
Mhm. That is for wafers, Netherlands company. And related question, what are critical minerals? What's their role in chip manufacturing? Then as Trump have become the president of USA, what will be the implication of Trump era on critical minerals supply or global supply chains of manufacturing? Do you see any weaponization of supply chains in near future as US China becoming more rival?
Seeing the nature of Trump in MAGA policy, making America great again, there may be disruption in supply of critical minerals to especially countries like China, Russia, which America consider they are against the global order. So there may be some disruptions.
And do you think our workforce, as you are a engineer from very good institute, other than IITs, other college in electronics engineers, are they capable to grab the opportunities of chip manufacturing sector?
Currently, I think there is a skill gap, and which is continuing since past decade or two, that the graduates from big colleges also, they lack skill to be employed in high technology sectors. So I think not everyone will be able to harness. We need to change the curriculum, and industry experts should be brought.
Then you have won some prize on constitution debate regarding progressive realization of rights or living document. Granville Austin also says constitution as a social revolution. What are your favorite clauses in constitution which you think make it social revolution or very progressive document?
Article 21 is there. It is continuously evolving and spreading. The rights are included in Article 21, like Article 21, a right to education through 86th Amendment, and through Puttaswamy judgment, right to privacy. So, sir, it is continuously evolving like a tree, and the rights of people are also increasing. Second, DPSP, it is the major socialistic. We have many types of DPSP. UCC is also one of them. Article 40 or 44. So, sir, we are implementing that.
So don't you see a major gap between what judiciary is pronouncing as a right and what executive and legislature is capable of providing to citizens? So writing in document or giving judgment, is it sufficient to make a social revolution?
That won't be sufficient, because ultimately that have to be implemented in ground. Only pronouncing judgments won't suffice. The administration should also be sensitive, and if they are not sensitive, government should take action against those officers who are not implementing it.
So you must have heard about Ken Bitwa linkage project.
Yes.
There are some national parks coming in that region. Then again, migration issues will be there. So since independence, tribal justice have not been taken into consideration for in terms of economic development and all. How do you see it?
Yes, sir. As per data, out of all displays in India, 40% are tribals. So they are, however, their population is not that much in country. So they are disproportionately affected due to dams and national parks. And sir, there is a notion that tribal women will also get a hamper, because they are mainly dependent on minor forest produce, tendu patta, honey, wood. So once you displace them, in new place may not be these forest produces. So their livelihood will be affected.
Is there any state policy to make them less affected, to cater their needs and all?
So exact state policy I don't know. However, there is Vandan scheme for Forest Right Act 2006.
So one last question, as Trump have become the president again, so migration issues on table. Should we allow Rohingyas to take refuge in India, or time has come to be like Trump's policy of immigration?
Sir, we should have balanced approach. Trump's policy of deporting them and making those a highly visible events, that won't be a good, because even India has said that the deportation of illegal Indians through flights and recording them on camera, that will hamper India's image. So we should deport Rohingya, but not in very visible manner or very hastily manner. And that should be a step-by process. Thank you.
So Aishwarya, a few more questions. Your uncle is in Indian Police Service? Okay. Do you think that in Indian ecosystem requires police reforms? Can you suggest few of them?
Sir, like in Prakash Singh case, Supreme Court has said that DGP of the state, that should be neutral person and appointed by UPSC, and also it is being done. And sir, in workforce, the ratio of women in police, that is also required. We don't have 33% women, which is aim of the MHA in 2010. So we should first accomplish that. Also, the segregation of law and order, investigation part, VIP security, this is all messed up, and a single person is doing all these. There should be separate departments for these.
The attitude of the policing from a perspective of a common man, is it hopeful or is it negative?
Sometimes it's hopeful, but major view is that police is not sensitive towards people. How they talk.
So, let's say you get posted as a superintendent of police at some district in Madhya Pradesh. What should be done and how would you address these concerns?
So first of all, the sensitization of workforce itself. That they should not misbehave with people, and they should be cordial, and only with criminals and those who require heavy-handedness. That should be done. With normal public, you have to be empathic and understanding.
Okay. Do you have interest in geopolitics?
And not much interest, however, as a part of curriculum. Yes, sir.
So, India-China. Do you know about India-China?
Yes.
The history of India-China?
Sir, history I am not much aware, however, current contemporary issues I am.
So, when the war happened with India and China?
In 1962 something.
And why did that war happen?
Sir, aggression of China in Arunachal Pradesh. They came into our border.
But why that aggression happened?
So grab the land, sir, I think.
But they did not grab the land, they went back.
Sir, after agreement with Jawaharlal Nehru, they went back.
But agreement happened, I mean, they went back, then the agreement happened.
Sir, I am not aware why they went back.
When was Tibet annexed? Where is Great Wall of China?
Great Wall of China, sir, not aware, sir.
Fair enough. Okay, Aishwarya, the interview is over.